My name is Kaids Alexandra and welcome to this edition of Kupsi Designer Spotlight. Today we are joined by the talented Miss Angelina of Ashubira Designs, and she will tell us a little bit more about her label.
Hello, as you say, my name is Angelina Mushala, and I would say I started to design when I was a little bit younger. I used to do some sketches. I really had an eye for art, and then I officially started to go into fashion when I came into college my freshman year in 2016. I started designing, doing some sketches, and then my mom really helped me out to get some fashion shows so I can really just go out there and see if that was for me. And today I can say that I do not regret choosing that path.
So have you always wanted to do design? Have you always wanted to be a designer?
You know, because I grew up in Tanzania, so and then I went to school in Tanzania and boarding school. So that was it was really not in my head, like designing and art, because that's not like growing up there. We are taught in school to go after careers that they're stable,
right.
Things that you know that after you graduate you're gonna get a job, right, and you're gonna get money. So at that time I didn't really think of design or whatever. But when I was in school and boarding school, I remember we used to do like competitions and stuff, and I started doing drapings because we didn't have any sewing machines or whatever, just for fun. And then it became like a big thing, and then next thing you know, the owner of the school asked us to show it on graduation. So we did fashion shows and models. And then, my siblings were like, wow, you can really do this. So that's when I was like, wow, I really like to design and just see how clothes fit on the human body and stuff like that. So,
and guys, she's very talented. I had to look for her because I was so impressed by the work that went in to produce a whole debut. You had a whole lineup of models and in different sizes, and she made those models look beautiful. So I had to look for her and get her to talk to us, and so she can tell us how she got into the design program here at Bowie State University. So please tell us what steps you took to be able to come and pursue your passion here
at Bowie State University.
Yes.
So actually, when I graduated from high school, I wanted to go to out of state. I didn't want to stay in Maryland. So I wanted to go to I remember I applied for SCAD in Atlanta, and they accepted me, and I applied to Academy of Art in California. But at the end of the day, it came down to the money. The money was...
That's always...
the money was not,
There's always a factor,
So my parents were like, why don't you go to Bowie State? And then I actually wanted to do interior, what is it called? Architectural design. I was not thinking I'm coming to do fashion or whatever. So my parents were like, since we've never seen you do any sketches of houses or whatever, but we've seen you drawing dresses and stuff, so why don't you go to Bowie State, do fashion? They have a fashion major, do fashion there, or do arts, graphic design. After 2 years, if you don't like it, then we can transfer you. So that's how I got here. So I came to Bowie State. I enrolled in the VCDMA program, Visual Communications, Digital Media Arts, and then concentration in fashion design, and that's how I got in.
And accidental, and also we are lucky because now she is the talented artist that we know her to be. Where do you draw your inspiration? Who's your muse, and how do you come up with the designs that you do?
Okay, so for me, I like complicated stuff. I like stuff that I like to take something that's simple, because I know fashion is like a repetition. No one can tell you that they totally came up with a whole idea by themselves, because they're going to be lying. So I like to take simple designs and maybe just a plain shirt, and add something on it, make it more interesting, add more details. So where I draw my inspiration from, I just look at simple things, simple clothes that are out there. It could be a t-shirt, it could be just a simple dress. I just draw inspiration from that stuff and add onto it. And then I would say my biggest designer and that inspires me a lot is Guo Pei. She's I think she's Asian. I really like her stuff because it's like extraordinary. Like when you see her stuff, it's like wow. It screams like culture, detail, like. Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
Wonderful. Today, what would you say are your biggest challenges? What have been your biggest challenges that you've encountered so far in this journey of becoming a designer?
Okay, first I would say that I was afraid for the longest to like just start going out there, like start being out there, like because I don't know, I was just afraid that what if I you know, start doing these designs and then people like them and then I can't hit production. Like I was just afraid of like a lot of things, and for me that was a challenge because I was, you know, holding myself like back from going out there and just doing it. And also the other thing is that right now I am into more the African print and like a mixture of the African print and then the European fabric too. So the challenge right now is that the African print is already like out there. We've seen a lot of designers that are doing you know, like the dresses, the bead dresses, and you know, the African print, like they're already advertising the fabric. We see a lot of designers from Nigeria. They're already like the African print is everywhere. So me right now, I'm just like, what market can I hit? Like what can I come up with that's not already out there? You know, that's like my biggest challenge.
Trying to be original with their creations.
Yes,
yeah.
And I also want to like to reach the younger generations, like the teenagers and the young adults, because like when someone goes to buy the like a African shirt or something African in the store, it's not more, you don't see a lot of teenagers, you know, buying that or owning that. And I'm trying to like make designs or just like simple cuts and stuff that would be able to, you know, target that younger audience. Okay. So yeah. And
you said that something that really resonated with me is that your challenge is to get yourself out there and start doing it, because you start self-doubting. It's like, can I do this?
Yeah.
And if I succeed, how am I going to cope with this success? And I think it's something that a lot of designers and a lot of young people struggle with. And it's good that you brought that out, because it will resonate with many people and they'll feel like, hey, I'm not alone, because other people also struggle with this. So thank you for bringing that up. In the next 5 years, where do you see Ashubira?
Design?
Yeah.
I actually have like really, really big plans for Ashubira Design. I want to own a boutique.
In the United States or back in Tanzania? Or
here, like at the age of 24, I want to have my own Ashubira boutique. I don't want to put everything out there because I don't want, you know, people to come and steal my ideas.
Understandable.
But I do have great ideas of like working between here and back home in Tanzania. So yeah, I want like at the age of, right now I'm 22, I want by 2024 I want to have my boutique, you know, up and running with my African prints in there, and just so I have big plans for Ahubira Designs.
And we're excited to see them. I'm here for it. So what word of advice do you have for that young person who is back in Tanzania, in Kenya, in East Africa, who would like to pursue fashion and they feel like, you know, it's something that's so far out that they cannot pursue it? I know your circumstance is different. You're here in the United States, but what can they do where they are to get themselves out of that thought that they can't do it?
You know, when I think of like wanting to do something, I always think about like, how much do I want it? You know, because if you want it that bad, it doesn't matter the circumstances. That's what I believe in. Like, it doesn't matter the circumstances. You're gonna do everything possible that you can to make sure that you do it. Yes, there are gonna be like obstacles in your way, because with me, like, even with, you know, let's say starting my YouTube channel, like I wanted to start it for like a long time, but I kept on putting it off, but because deep inside I knew that I want this, and you know, I want to be out there. One day I just turned on the camera and I was like, I'm doing this, you know, and I did it.
Take the first step. Jump. In fact, just jump with both feet and do it.
And don't worry what people are gonna think about you. Like just take it as if this is who you are, and this is what you're meant to be, and this is a part of you that you want to show people, that you want people to see. And I'm pretty sure when people get to see it, they're gonna love it, because because I know there's a lot of designers and like a lot of styles out there, but your style, people have not seen it yet, and people are waiting to see it. So,
and you might have something unique that's uniquely you that nobody else has.
Exactly.
And once you put that out there, and you'll find that people flocking towards your products and people wanting more of your products. So don't be afraid to jump in with both feet and just get yourself going. And she has a YouTube channel and it's called Angelina Mushala, and please go give her a follow and a like and share so that we can spread this love and joy around with all the fashionistas out there.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is actually about advice and fashion, and I talk more about advice. So like for young people, like I like to talk to young people. So for young people, it's gonna help you, and maybe I can release a video about like my fashion journey and some advice that I have for you guys. So definitely
follow her. Being an East African, where do you see the fashion, the African fashion back home heading? Because I see a lot of even the stars, the musicians are now coming up with their own labels, as well as in their music videos they are more so donning the African fabric more than the Western. So where do you, as a designer, where do you feel like the industry is heading towards? Is it going to be more of the appreciation, or do you think it's just a fad or just a passing phase that people will go back to the Western aesthetic of, you know, dress?
Honestly, I feel like with East Africans, I feel like as far as fashion, I've seen, like, I know a couple of designers, and I've seen like a lot of designers that are really trying to, like, you know, be out there and just like promote the African fabric in general. When you're promoting something, it all comes down to why you're promoting it. If you're promoting it for you to like get more likes or like get more videos and stuff like that, it's different. That means it's just a passing phase. But if you're like promoting it because you believe in your country and you believe in the artwork from East Africa, then I can definitely see it, you know, like in a bigger place. Because it doesn't only come from like they say kiki in Tanzania, you wanting to get kiki,
right?
It comes from like within.
You have to have the passion for it to continue growing.
Exactly.
You can't be just like, oh, this is what is in now, I'm going to wear this because everybody's doing it, and then in 5 years time you're not doing it anymore. You have to be passionate about it and keep doing it. In Kenya, because this is a question of in Kenya, because I'm Kenyan and she's from Tanzania. So in Kenya, the tailors there have a really bad reputation. They say tailors are liars because you take your fabric there and then they'll tell you, come next week, it will be ready. You go there next week and it's not ready, and maybe the design that you thought they were going to make, the dress does not look the way you expected it to look. And so what advice would you give to those tailors to improve their craft first, and what advice would you give to the customer taking their fabric to a tailor? Because this is a two-way street where either as a customer and as a tailor. So maybe if you have an opinion on both.
Okay.
What is it?
So for the tailors, I would like to say that first of all, when you're taking somebody's money or when you're taking somebody's material to do something for them. That means that that person is trusting you, you know, with their money and with their material.
Hard-earned money.
Exactly. They're trusting you to make something so they can look beautiful. So if you take that as a joke, first of all, that means that you are what is it called? You were spoiling your name, or like if
your
there's
reputation
like
too.
your reputation. Because like as she said, you have a bad reputation. Like you don't want that people seeing or viewing, you know, Kenya's tailors as, you know, they have a bad reputation for something. So first of all, you want to keep into mind that you're not only doing that for yourself, because if you're not serious with what you're doing, or if you mess up somebody's designs or whatever, it doesn't only fall on you, but it falls on all the Kenyan designers. So I feel like something that they can do is just keep in mind of that that unity, because you know, it's like when one goes down, everybody else goes down.
It's like it spreads, the bad reputation spreads towards all the other tailors. And do Tanzanian tailors have this reputation, or is it just the Kenyan ones?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I haven't actually. Wait, I have sewn something in Tanzania, and it really depends because. If you sew, and this is where it comes with your second question about what do I advise for the customers. You know, they say that cheap is expensive. So when you're going to a tailor to take your material, or you know, to pay them to do something, make sure that you've done your research beforehand to know that this person has designed for these people for wedding or that. Okay, I can trust this person, and then you take your stuff there. But if you go to something for cheap, of course the results are not going to be, you know,
you get what you pay for.
Exactly. So yeah, so I want to say that there are some good and bad, because I've, you know, taken my stuff to both like cheap places and expensive places.
Is there anything you'd like to add, or is there anything you want the people out there to know about you, your designs, life in general? You'd give advice. Do you have some advice to give to us?
For really, I just want to say that I'm really grateful, first of all, you know, for being here. For this is like my first ever interview, and
I got her before she was famous, guys.
This is my first ever interview, so I'm really grateful for actually being here and being able to share my thoughts and, you know, a little bit of my journey as a fashion designer. And for like everybody that wants to be a fashion designer, or everybody that wants to do something that's not really out there, like maybe something in arts or something that people are not open to already, just don't be afraid to do it. You know, don't be afraid to do it, and you have to take that fast move, because without that fast move, there can never be a second move. Like, you have to start, and people around you can push you, they can tell you, oh, you're good at this, oh, you can do this, but it's up to you. So you yourself, do your self-evaluation and do what you have to do to get out there.
To add on to that, you also, when you do something, you have to follow through. So like, you start, but you also have to have the stamina to go through with it. The journey is gonna get really tough. It's gonna be long, and you might not have the results that you're expecting just from the get-go. So you have to have that the passion to follow through and keep doing what you're doing, and in the end it's going to pay off.
Yeah, the consistency. You know. Other than that, I just want to say thank you for having me today.
So now it's the fun part. The quick fire questions. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, but you're gonna choose one or the other.
Okay.
Samosa or chapati?
Chapati.
Chapati. Chips masala or chips mayai?
Chips mayai. Oh Lord, I love chips mayai. Oh my goodness. We call it chips nzege, by the way, in Tanzania.
Chips nzege. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the real deal, you know.
Heels or tennis shoes?
Tennis shoes.
Alikiba or diamond?
Diamond.
Ooh, okay. Safari or beach holiday?
Beach holiday.
Ah, girl of my own heart. I love the beach also.
Beach holiday. Oh my gosh, I love the beach.
So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. It's been a pleasure. And guys, don't forget to go subscribe to her channel. I will put the link in the description below. And if you're a designer who is in the Washington DC metro area, please comment below and I might also be able to come talk to you, especially if you're East African designer in the metro DC area. I would love to come and talk to you as well. Until next time, please subscribe, like, share, and catch you on the next video. Bye bye.